Kate's attempt at DJing sparks laughter from Prince William. "Please turn it off." Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, and Prince William have carried out their first engagement together in Scotland as part of their joint tour of the nation. Later in the evening Kate tried her hand at DJing, much to the amusement of her husband. Kate joined her husband of 10 years in Scotland after he travelled north last week to attend a series of engagements as Lord High Commissioner to the General Assembly of the Church of Scotland. This morning, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, officially known in Scotland as Earl and Countess of Strathearn, visited the North Lanarkshire headquarters of Turning Point Scotland, an organisation working to break down the cycle of crime and addiction as well as helping people with mental health issues and experiencing homelessness. At Turning Point, the couple spoke with those benefiting from programs offered by the charity tackling the issue of offending behaviours and problematic use of alcohol and drugs, which can result in patterns of reoffending. Kate dazzled in a blue ensemble, the colour of the national flag of Scotland, during the engagement, which included a blazer by Zara and a Hope skirt. CEO of Turning Point Scotland, Neil Richardson, praised the couple for being clearly very well tuned into how the organisation supports people with mental health challenges and some of the barriers that they face. He said, "I think they recognized a lot of what they heard today. They came over as very relaxed, very personable. Everyone commented on it afterwards, they were just lovely people. I think this will give the whole organization a real lift, partly that they have taken the time and the interest to come and spend some time with us, but also it's an endorsement that what we are doing matters and that it is valued. And in social care that's not always the case, staff often get treated pretty poorly. So it really counts for an awful lot." Later this evening Kate and William visited the Scottish Violence Reduction Unit, SVRU, in Cockhinsey, a joint project backed by the police and the Scottish Government which tries to tackle the root causes of violence. The Duchess tried her hand at DJing with some electronic dance music, EDM, and was filmed pushing buttons to add sounds to her recording. William laughed and said, "What's that? It sounded like a cat. It might catch on, in about 100 years' time." After a few moments William pleaded for it to stop saying, "Please turn that one off, it's hurting my ears." He then added, "I'm not sure it's number one material yet." Throughout the rest of the week, the couple are scheduled to visit several charities working with the community. Among the organizations Kate and William are said to visit there are charities working on mental health, the environment and homelessness. As joint patron of NHS charities together, they will also meet key workers, emergency responders and frontline staff. Kate's journey to Scotland came after the Duke of Cambridge's touching speech delivered during the Church of Scotland's General Assembly in Edinburgh. William spoke about Scotland as the source of his saddest and happiest memories, being the place where he both learned about his mother's death and where he met his wife. He said, "I was in Balmoral when I was told that my mother had died. Still in shock, I found sanctuary in the service at Craddy Kirk that very morning, and in the dark days of grief that followed I found comfort and solace in the Scottish outdoors." Alongside this painful memory is one of great joy because it was here in Scotland, 20 years ago this year, that I first met Catherine. Needless to say, the town where you meet your future wife holds a very special place in your heart. George, Charlotte and Louis already know how dear Scotland is to both of us, and they are starting to build their own happy memories here too. Speaking about attending the University of St Andrews in Fife with Kate, the Duke said, "I spent 4 very happy informative years studying in St Andrews. The town and the students left me alone to get on with student life, allowing me to share their freedoms, and their pubs. As I grew up I saw how my grandmother relishes every minute she spends here, and my father is never happier than in walking among the hills. My childhood was full of holidays, having fun in the fresh air, swimming in lochs, family barbecues with my grandfather in command, and yes, the odd Mitch." During their tour to Scotland, Prince William and Kate are to travel back to Fife to visit their alma mater. Kate and Prince William's trip to Scotland will likely be seen as a charm offensive in favour of the Union. However, the Duke of Cambridge was originally meant to carry out his duties as Lord High Commissioner last year, with plans being disrupted and pushed back by the coronavirus pandemic. Kate's trip to Scotland comes hours after she released a video message marking the end of the 3-year-long Nursing Now initiative she launched in 2018. Wrapped up in an elegant Alexander McQueen peplum dress, Kate praised nurses around the world for their relentless work during the pandemic. She said, "When Nursing Now was launched in 2018, we had no way of knowing just how much the work, dedication and infinite care of nurses would be tested, needed and appreciated. COVID-19 has highlighted the vital role that nurses provide, which we all rely on, and it's made all the more extraordinary when we consider the huge sacrifices and personal demands that have been placed on all of you by the pandemic. It has been the hardest of years, and my heartfelt thanks to you and your colleagues around the world for the incredible work you do every day." Nursing Now is aimed at raising the global profile of nurses and midwives. Has highlighted the vital role that nurses provide, which we all rely on, and it's made all the more extraordinary when we consider the huge sacrifices and personal demands that have been placed on all of you by the pandemic. It has been the hardest of years, and my heartfelt thanks to you and your colleagues around the world for the incredible work you do every day. Nursing Now is aimed at raising the global profile of nurses and midwives.